Hi friends, it's Stephanie with Steph's on a Budget, and it is time for our first paycheck of July that we're going to be budgeting. So I just wanted to come on and say, hey, I know I haven't shown my face too often, but this is what I look like. I'm always like surprised when people pop up on the camera and I'm like, that's what they look like? I'd have never known it. But anywho, let's jump on in and we're going to set up that first paycheck of July together. Okay, now that we've got you turned the right way, we're ready to jump on in. So we are going to get paid this Friday, the 30th, which will serve as our first July paycheck. So that's pretty crazy to believe. And in like budgeting world, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, it's July. That's like 5 months for Christmas shopping. So that's no time at all, you guys. But we do have just like a few things to take care of to wrap up June, and then we're going to jump over to July's monthly spread. So we're going to get paid, like I said, Friday, and we're going to pay half of our mortgage, and we have our Apple Card there. And then in July, we are paying everything in blue. And I don't know, this weekend, I just kind of got like a wild hair and was just staring and staring and staring at all of these expenses we have every month. And so I got a little cancel crazy, which I'm actually excited about. I hope it's gonna make a pretty good difference for us. I mean, it's not huge, but let me just pop my hair up, it's hot. But it feels good. So essentially I've canceled 1, 2, 3, 4 subscriptions, you guys, and I went ahead and just flat out canceled our motorcycle insurance. My husband sold his bike earlier this year, so we just have a little, it's just like a little 125cc Grom, and we mostly just use it for like putting around like the block for fun. I used to ride it when I'd ride with my husband, but we're not doing that anymore. And honestly, I'm not sure that we'll even have it that much longer. We'll probably end up selling it. So it just didn't seem, you know, I might as well save the $22 because nobody's even riding it anyways. So yeah, so I feel pretty good. We've got a couple cancellations, but we do still have a lot of expenses, and we're going to be breaking that down in our paycheck budget. So let's see, let me grab our budget by paycheck worksheet to get us going. So let's pull this guy out, and then I will leave this open off to the side so that I know what the heck we're paying. And then I'm gonna also zoom you in. And oh, I am so glad that I got up because my phone is gonna die. So please hold. Okay, sorry about that. We are back in business. Okay, so let's see. First thing we're gonna do is start with our income, and this is for our July 30th or June 30th paycheck. And so our pay number 1, pay number 2 is that all that we're gonna have? It is. Okay, so for our budgeted pay number 1, $2,700, and I'm gonna budget that minimum $1,700 for our pay number 2. Let's bring in our calculator. Okay, $4,400 is what we're looking at for our paycheck. Okay. All right, let's just start listing off expenses. So we're gonna fulfill that second half of our July mortgage and get that paid. And that's $1,150. And then we have our Apple credit card that's getting paid. And we're budgeting $200, which is well above the minimum, but this is our priority debt, so I definitely don't want to make any changes there. Okay, then next we have the student loan debt snowball, and I'll just put that over here. So we're going to do our internet, I cannot believe July 3rd. Okay, and that bumped up last month to $60. What else do we have? We have our truck payment, and that's due on the 5th, and we're gonna budget $10.13 there. And remember in my last budget with me, I kind of mentioned that somehow I've worked myself a month ahead. So technically I already have this payment in that account to pay for July 5th, but I'm just gonna go ahead and set it to the side again because it's supposed to be budgeted, and I'm not sure what August is gonna look like. So I'm just gonna go ahead and budget it, and we may end up with having that extra, but I'm not sure. So I still need to kind of work ahead in August's budget to know for sure. And so just in case something works out strangely there, I'll just go ahead and leave it in the budget. We had a subscription that I canceled, so yay. We have our gas bill. This is our natural gas for our house. And I was happy to see that in comparison to last year, this is lower, so that's reassuring. $53. I think it's up a couple dollars from last month, but still lower than this time last year, which is good. Sorry, I hope I didn't have my hand there in the way the whole time. Okay, then we have our IRS payment plan. That's gonna come out. And that did finally come out. Like, I was panicking so much last month because it still hadn't come out. And I was expecting it 2 months ago and it never came out in May, but it did finally come out in June. And so we're gonna budget $100 for that. We have that new personal loan that we've got to make a payment on, also due on the 10th, and that's $150. And then we have our electric bill for our home, also due on the 10th, and this guy's at a whopping $228. Okay, I said it last time, I love these pens like for their color variation, but they just do not write good. They skip all the time. But I have tons of them, so I'm determined to like use them and make them work. Okay, and then normally we would have our Apple TV subscription that I also canceled, you guys. So I'm just kind of waiting for my husband to go and use it for the one time out of the year and be like, hey, why isn't the Apple TV working? So we'll see. Fingers crossed we could keep it canceled for more than a couple of months, but that is gonna do it. That's crazy. Okay, so let's add it up.
Okay, 2954. Is that right? Okay. Let me just double check.
Okay, yep. 2954. So 2,954 for our fixed expenses. And if we take that minus our paycheck, that's going to leave us with 1446, which isn't going to leave too much to work with. So we'll bring the 1446 down to our envelopes. And these are going to be our usual, you guys. So we're going to have groceries, gas, Costco. What else do we have? Mom and Dad, miscellaneous, house and beauty, water, and takeout. I think that's everything. Okay, and then remember, these envelopes cover our household of 5 for a 2-week period. So groceries, I think I'm gonna just leave it at $300. I was contemplating knocking it down $25, but I don't see prices coming down, so I'm not too sure. Gas, I'm gonna have to travel for a pretty long visit for work, so I also wanted to knock this down $25, but I don't think that's gonna be a good idea for this pay period, so I'm gonna leave it at our $175. Costco will get its $200. Our normal spending of $400, miscellaneous is $40, house and beauty is $40, water is $38, and that's for drinking water, not our home water. And then take out, we're gonna do 100. So, sorry if I've got you zoomed in too far. So should be $12.93, but let's double check it. Yep, okay, $12.93. And if we take that from our $14.46, that leaves us with $153 to take over into our debt snowball and our sinking funds. And man, it is tight this pay period. So we are gonna really need to hope that that second income comes in higher, but I do not think that it will, because we had some vacation time in there. So okay, so I think what we'll do is just go ahead and plan to okay, so oops, sorry for the bump. Let me just pop in here the 153 left over. Okay, and we will plan to, I'm trying to think, debt is my priority, but I hate skipping all of the sinking funds. So okay, sorry guys, I had to think. So I'm gonna bring the 153 to our debt snowball, and I'm gonna go ahead and put 100 towards that, which will leave us oh shoot, that'll leave us 53. So the 100 goes here. Okay, then we'll bring the 53 up to sinking funds, and I'm just gonna put sinking funds 53, and then when it comes time to do our cash stuffing, I'll break it down how I want to put that into the sinking funds. But that last 53 brings us to a 0, so that gives us a 0 base budget, and that is going to take care of our first paycheck of July. It is a little bit tighter than usual, so like I said, hopefully that second income will come in a little bit higher, fingers crossed. But if not, it, you know, we're prepared for it to not be, and that's okay. One thing we can always do too is we can always the first things to go are always spending money and Costco money. So we definitely have quite a bit of money in those two categories that we could free up. So yeah, we'll take a look at it when it comes to payday Friday, see where we're at. And if we need to make any adjustments, we certainly can kind of do that on the fly. But for now, we at least have a game plan. And the most important thing is our 4 walls and all of our expenses are covered in full. We're not getting behind, we're stuffing our envelopes, and we are still hitting a debt snowball, and we're saving a little bit. Is it a ton of money? Nope, but every little dollar counts, right guys? Okay, that's gonna wrap us up for our first paycheck in July, and we shall see how it goes. So stay tuned for the rest of the week. We'll have a cash stuffing coming, and then if we are able to have any rollover in our envelopes, we'll be able to put that towards any savings challenges. But yeah, thanks for joining me for another video, you guys. I appreciate you being here very much and supporting these videos and supporting us. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, friends.